Okay. Is this the year Lamar gets over the hump? I don't know if I love that quote, to be honest with you. I kind of liked it, but then another lens.
I like it. Nick, I hate to tell you, this is the year he gets over the hump.
Okay.
Not only does he play well in the playoffs, he leads the Ravens to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Victory. Not just appearance, victory.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson has been so good this year that it's hard for me to see him, and he has. We've fought over it and argued. He's struggled in the playoffs. He was great against Houston, I thought.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he struggled. Although it was years ago, but still. And he's been so good. He's also got Derrick Henry, who obviously is going to help, And he's got better receivers. Even Zay Flowers might be out, but now
but Zay Flowers should be back. You would hope for the tough playoff games against Buffalo and then maybe against Kansas City.
Absolutely. So I do think he overcomes it, and he overcame Pittsburgh. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. You did, and he admitted, I got a monkey off my back, and he played great. That was the first time in his, 6 games against the Steelers that he had a passer rating over, 80.
Yeah, it was his first even good game against Pittsburgh, and it was a great game.
Right.
So
I do, let me, your quote.
Please.
The quote, I know that you think that means he's nervous.
Well, it's not what I think he told us.
Well, I looked up antsy, nervous. I went to Oxford Languages and looked up nervous, and they had 23 synonyms, and antsy was not one of them.
What were the synonyms when you looked up antsy? Because I bet nervous is one of them.
Nervous wasn't one. Okay. Fidgety, jumpy.
Yeah.
Restless.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Even if you are right, though, I'll play along.
Yeah.
Let's say it's nervous.
Well, yeah.
The great ones have to get over that.
Yes.
And I think he's a great one.
I do too.
And I remember another great one who used to get fidgety and nervous and had some meltdowns in the biggest games. And in his first trip to the NBA Finals, couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, shot 35%. His next, a couple years later, big playoff game against Boston's Big Three. A meltdown that was inexplainable to people. Then he gets to the finals and in Miami and plays against Dallas. I thought they definitely should have won that series, and he melted down. And I'm, of course, talking about the great LeBron James, but he had to do some soul searching, and he got over it. So the notion that, you're a created killer. You can't, if you get nervous in the big moments, you'll never get over it. No. LeBron is Exhibit A, and I think Lamar will be Exhibit B.
So let me just respond to the LeBron thing quickly, and then I'll say some stuff that I think you'll agree with. And I think you'll agree with the LeBron thing. LeBron definitely, prior to winning his first championship, had some really low playoff moments. Most notably, I don't think the 07 finals when he was 22 is even anywhere close to the same category of the 2011 finals where he was the best player in the world and refused to take shots. But he also had some crazy high playoff moments along the way.
He did.
He had the 48 special, getting that team to the finals, averaging 38 in a series in the Eastern Conference Finals against Wright. They lost all that. That, I think you would agree, has not been Lamar's path.
No, other than the one game against Houston.
Right. Prior to that game against Houston, he'd never had a playoff game with a passer rating of 80. He never had one. For his playoff career, it's not only a losing record, it's just the one really good game and 4 really awful games and 1 mediocre game. So I do appreciate Lamar, in my opinion, confirming what I've been saying.
Oh, my God.
Which the reason I get so frustrated with the reaction to my Lamar Jackson opinion is not just because it was an opinion shared by a lot of people after last year's playoffs and then changed based on a regular season that I think everyone after the playoffs said, I've got to see him do it in the playoffs, and the playoffs haven't started yet. But also because, to me, it is so obvious and not a singular indictment on Lamar. A lot of the greatest athletes we've ever seen get tight in the big spots.
Enough. Oh my God, just enough. Just stop with this. Stop with this. And then you're trying to act like you're not trying to slate Lamar Jackson right here. Just enough. Enough, enough, enough. Oh my God, what are we talking about? First off, Now we're going to hold Lamar Jackson's ability to accurately use the most perfect word in any given moment. He's a wordsmith now. He's an English lit major. Like, what are we talking about? He's an athlete. He's a beast. He's a freak of nature. I will not hold exactly what Lamar Jackson says in an interview and hold the wording he used. Well, let's look at the Oxford Dictionary. Like, that's insanity. That's insanity. Okay? So just put that aside. And being antsy, him saying being antsy is excitement. It's not nervousness in the sense of like, ooh, I'm scared. I don't know, will I be able to play against this team? That's not what it is. It's being fired up. It's having that angst. There's difference. There's different levels of nerves and excitement and fear and this or that. And every single athlete gets afraid, gets nervous, and gets antsy. Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady. If you ever actually ask any of those players and they actually are honest, they will all say, oh yeah, I always get nervous before a game. I always get anxious before a game. I always get antsy. The ones who lie, Caleb Williams, nah, man, I don't feel fear. I've never been nervous a day in my life. And remember when every other athlete was like, what are you talking about, bro? What do you mean you never get nervous? They're like, you really never get nervous? Because they're like, huh? It's not normal human behavior. Everyone gets nervous. Everyone gets tight and anxious and antsy at times. Everyone. So stop trying to act like this is like kind of unique to Lamar Jackson, or that's why Lamar Jackson has struggled in the playoffs. It's not the case. Last year against the Kansas City Chiefs, he was not just tight and antsy. They left him on an island. They gave him nothing to work with. You had a rookie wide receiver who was fumbling the ball and getting penalties for unsportsmanlike conduct. You didn't run the ball. You changed the game plan completely, what had been working for you every single game up to that point. And you want to put it all on Lamar Jackson? Like, that's insane. And if you want to talk about, getting tight and anxious, look at Patrick Mahomes' numbers in the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl. They all go down. So does that mean that he now can't handle the Super Bowl? Does that mean that he gets tight or anxious in the Super Bowl? Because if you believe that, then say it. If you want to say, oh, well, that's not why his numbers go down because he's going against better teams, well, then who did Lamar Jackson go up against last year? Was it against the best defense in the NFL? I think so. I mean, what else do you want? And again, you're going to hold his feet to the fire for how he played in like 2019? I mean, the dude's like 22 years old, 23 years old, whatever it is. I mean, he's had a revolving door of a lot of different pieces around him, different coordinators around him. Because this is all Nick's way of trying to pull down Lamar and elevate Patrick Mahomes from being this just special character. And he wants to talk about other players like Harden. Right. It's his fault that James Harden couldn't overcome the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry, with KD. I mean, that team's stacked with Hall of Famers. They have 4 Hall of Famers. Steph, Clay, Draymond, KD. I mean, and James Harden's supposed to overcome that? With who? With who? People want to keep acting like James Harden just comes up small in the playoffs. It's not really accurate either. And I'm not going to turn this into a James Harden comparison either. And you're going to say, well, LeBron James had big moments in the playoffs. Well, because it's best of 7 games, man. One playoff series in the NBA is more than an entire, career for football players oftentimes in terms of the playoffs. So yeah, there's more opportunities for LeBron to be able to have big games in the playoffs. So just stop. Just stop. You know who got tight in the playoffs? The Baltimore Ravens, the coaching staff. They're getting penalties. They're yelling at the other team. Getting literal 15-yard penalties. Reaching out to try to get a touchdown, something that you're taught in Pee Wee football not to do. They're just like, let's not run the ball. Hey, here's an idea. Let's just not run the ball. Yeah, it's a great idea. I mean, just stop. Stop with this nonsense. We just keep going in circles again and again and again. And then we're going to hold what Lamar Jackson says, some of his words, again, like he is this very calculated, strategic interview. He just kind of talks, man. He's got such a youthful energy to him. That is who Lamar is. He is very much like a kid. And again, I say that in the most positive way possible. So like, how do you feel? He goes, I feel antsy. Yeah, everyone feels antsy in that moment. Everyone feels antsy in that moment. Like, what? You want to act like the lack of the lack of success for the Baltimore Ravens, their inability to be able to win a Super Bowl since Lamar became the quarterback is because of Lamar. And it's just not true. It's just not true. I mean, this is just classic nonsense. And like I'm going to keep saying now, I'm going to say it in so many more videos. You keep knocking these other quarterbacks. You keep knocking Joe Burrow. You keep knocking Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. You keep knocking all of these teams, these coaches, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo. You keep saying how these guys cannot perform in the playoffs. They're not good enough. Their teams are not good enough. Then it's not impressive that Patrick Mahomes has won these Super Bowls because he's playing then players that clearly are choke and get tight in the playoffs that literally ruin the game, for their team. So why is it impressive then that Patrick Mahomes won 17-10 against a quarterback who chokes? Why is that impressive then? Why is it impressive? Why is it impressive that Patrick Mahomes won in the Super Bowl against Jimmy Garoppolo, throwing multiple interceptions, up against Brock Purdy, who you think shouldn't even get a contract? Jalen Hurts, who you think holds back the Philadelphia Eagles, who you think is the weakest link for the Philadelphia Eagles. Why is it impressive then? Because he went up against one quarterback who you can't deny his greatness. And what happened? Oh, that's right. Patrick Mahomes got rocked. So let's keep playing this game. Let's keep playing this game that these other quarterbacks are not good enough. And that they just keep holding everyone back. That Lamar Jackson is a fundamental problem for the Baltimore Ravens. Even this question, this the year Lamar gets over the hump? This is a Baltimore Ravens issue. They called hike and just had Lamar just have to stand back there and figure out something. They're just like, best of luck. Here's your helmet. We're going to call a couple of these plays and, hopefully you'll be able to find something out there. Please try your best, bud. Gosh, I just don't understand why we have to do this every single day. Every single day. This is just becoming insane right now. This is seriously insane. Like, what are we doing here? Lamar Jackson was absolutely left on an island against the Kansas City Chiefs last year. Against the best defense in the NFL. And we want to just put the blame on him? Huh? Gosh. Just getting ridiculous at this point. It really is. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Lamar Jackson and his struggles? That he's too antsy. And do you think this is the year that Lamar gets over the hump? Or do you think, no, he just can't do it? All great athletes. There's lots of great athletes. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.